day 3 of our classes. Alright. Hopefully everyone had a good day today. And we are going to begin with the regular. Today is of course maths and English. So we're gonna do maths from 6 to 8, and we're gonna do English from 8 to 9. By the way, does anyone have any questions based on what we did yesterday? Any questions about translating those inequalities into words? Translating those words into inequalities. Any questions on that?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Alright. So with that being said, let us begin for the night. Alright. So today we're going to be looking at equation word problems. Okay? Equation word problems. What that means is that, and they like to bring questions like this. What that means is we're going to look at basically a word problem and change it into a algebraic equation and then solve it. Alright, so that's gonna be the basic general format. Okay, so let's begin.
You can repeat that.
What I'm saying, um, we're gonna look at how to translate a word problem into a equation. That's basically what's gonna happen. Alright,
Like yes.
not quite. Yesterday was changing an inequality into a changing a word problem into an inequality. Today we're gonna look at changing it into a changing a word problem into an equation. Right, so that's the difference. Okay, so let's begin. We're gonna start pretty easy. Hopefully this um mm, okay, this one is too easy. We can't do these ones, too easy. Let's start with something a little more interesting. Let's start with this. Alright, so this should be good. This should be a good place to start with. So let me share my screen. Yeah, let me share my screen with you all. Alright, remember on your side you are taking notes. Make sure you take notes and send the notes to me in class. Alright, send the notes to me in class. Reason why I want to see it in class is because I want to check and see if you're doing it the right way. Alright, and a lot of times people forget to send it after class, so let's just send it during class one time. So write down this question. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, alright, that's good. Okay, so the equation, the question says the following: Dahlia bought a few swirl marbles and divided it equally among 4 of her friends and her brother Jake. While playing, Jake lost 2 marbles and has only 7 marbles at present. Find how many marbles did Dahlia buy in all. Alright? So find out
I
how many.
think scroll back a place and write the topic.
Oh, the topic. The topic, okay. I was wondering if you would say Ricardo. Alright, so
Oh, you want to write that too?
yes, ma'am, you could write it. Right now, the topic is good.
I'm doing the word problem.
You can't see my screen?
Never mind.
Okay. Okay, so let's break this down. So we have a young lady named Dahlia. Um, she bought some marbles and she divided it equally among four of her friends and her brother. While playing, Jake lost 2 marbles and has only 7 marbles at present. Wow, find out how many marbles did Delia buy and all. This is interesting. Alright, so Delia bought a few swirl marbles, divided it equally among her friends and her brother Jake. So we're trying to figure out how much marbles Delia bought, right? So the way we're
I
gonna
have a
start this
question.
off, yes, ma'am.
When they say Jake lost two and has never mind.
Okay.
Like when they say has only 7 marbles at present, right? They mean how much she have left altogether, or how much Jake have left.
As I'm saying, it says while playing Jake, it's talking about Jake. So first we start talking about Delia, and then we start talking about her brother Jake. So I'm gonna see how those two connect, but we have to try to connect them. Okay, we have to try to connect those two ideas. But the first step, right, to these things is you need to identify what you're looking for. Okay, so the question asks us specifically. It says, how many marbles, right, did Delia buy? Right? So we're talking specifically about Delia. We're trying to figure out how much marbles she bought, right? We know she bought some marbles. They didn't tell us how much, right? So we don't know exactly how much marbles she bought. We just know that she bought a certain amount, right? And so because we don't know what that amount is, what do you think we're gonna call that? Because we don't know the amount.
X.
Yes, we're gonna use X to represent the number of marbles she bought. So we're gonna say let X, right, be the number. So let X be the number of marbles. So let X be the number of marbles Delia bought. So let X be the number of marbles Delia bought. So if X is the number of marbles Delia bought, so we don't know exactly how much marbles she bought, but we say, you know what? Since we don't know, we're gonna call that number that we don't know. We know it's a certain number. It gotta be a number, a specific number. So we're gonna call that number that which we don't know. We're gonna call it X. Okay. So Delia bought a few marbles and divided it equally among 4 friends and her brother Jake. So how are we gonna divide into how many equal parts are we gonna divide the number of marbles Delia bought?
5. No.
Say it again.
Yeah, 5.
5. Why not 4?
Because could be, but then she said equally among 4 of her friends, and then also her brother Jake. So I was thinking, right.
Okay. And divided it equally among her 4 friends and her brother Jake. Um, it seems that it's 5 people because 4 friends, right, and then a brother. You understand?
Yes, so that was more.
Yeah. So X is going to be divided by 5. While playing, Jake lost 2 marbles and has only 7 marbles at present. Find out how many marbles did Delia buy in all. So X is the number of marbles Delia bought. And so X over 5, because she divided equally among her people. So that's X over 5. While playing, Jake lost 2 marbles. But we don't know how much marbles Jake had in total, isn't it?
Wouldn't it be the 7 would be for her? Is it from
7 is for
Dahlia?
Wouldn't the seven like be a representation of the nine in total?
No,
Is
it
it
can't be 9.
I,
Okay.
so the
So
7
okay.
from
Alright. Okay, that's true. Yeah, because that's true. That's true. That's true. What's her name? Nancy. While playing, Jake lost 2 marbles and has only 7 at present. So that means that she gave him 9, isn't it? Right?
I guess I would so. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
trying to
she gave
ask
him
if
9.
it's 7.
Yeah, she gave him 9 because well, he lost 2 and then had 7 left. So he had to have 9 in total. Understand? So that means that okay, I understand the saying. That means that when we divide x by 5, we're supposed to get 9. And the reason why that's the case is because this is a very tricky way for them to put it. But the reason why that's the case is because they're saying, okay, she had a certain number of marbles and she divided into 5 equal parts, and everybody, including Jake, got 9. Alright? You understand that? Or no?
So
Say it again. I get that.
I say yes.
Yes, sir.
I was confused on whether the 7 was from how much since he lost 2 like if it was from how much Dahlia had in total or if it was from how much he gave her.
Oh yeah, it have to be from how much he. It have to be from how much he got from Dahlia. All right. So this is the equation, and so now we have to solve for x. So so the question is now, how do we solve for x? What is x going to be in this case? What method we could use to solve x?
Cross multiply.
Cross multiply. Very good. So now we're going to solve for x. So can I move this slide or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do I need to explain how I got this equation again, or we understand?
We understand.
We understand, sir.
Understood.
Okay.
Can you repeat yourself, Jeff?
Alright, no problem. The reason why okay, remember, it says Dahlia bought some marbles. We don't know how much marbles she bought. So because we don't know how much marbles she got, we're gonna call that whatever amount of marbles it is, we're gonna call that x. Alright? So she has x marbles. That's how much she have. Now, remember that oh sorry, give me one moment. Someone is trying to get in. Okay. Now remember, sorry, let me go back here. Now remember that x is the number of marbles that she has in total. Alright, that she bought from the store. But she has so much marbles, right? That she's able to divide or share these marbles among her 4 friends and her brother Jake. So that's ultimately 5 people. Alright? And so alright, so she is going to divide. That's what this sign represents. The fraction means divide. So she's going to divide the amount of marbles she has, alright, by 5. Okay? And
Excuse
then when
me,
she went,
Mr.
yes sir, yes sir.
Uh, does she keep any of the marbles, or does she just give all them away?
Yeah, it seems that she just gave all of them away because it doesn't give us information. It just say that she bought some, she divided it among her friends, and she don't have anything left. Very good
Okay, I
question.
just had to make sure.
Yeah, very good question. So the number of marbles she has is x. She divided into 5 equal parts, and so if she divided into 5 equal parts, everybody should get the same thing, right? So if everybody gets the same thing, Jake would get the same thing as well because Jake is one of those people. Now it tells us that Jake had 2. Sorry, lost 2 and now has 7. So he lost 2 and now has 7. So how much he had to have in order to lose 2 and then only have 7 now? How much he had to have?
9.
He had to have 9. And so that means that Jake got 9 from who?
Dahlia.
From Dahlia. So that means that when we divide the number of marbles that she had by 5, we find that it's 9 that everybody got. So if it's not, we don't even have to do this to figure out what the answer is. If it's 9 that everybody got, how much she had to have in order for so that 5 people?
40.
Say it again.
40.
40? You sure 40? Nope, can't be 40.
Yes.
45.
What?
45.
Oh,
45.
45. I get it mixed up. It's my bad. Bro,
45.
bro.
40, but I
45. 45, okay? Okay, so she had that 45 first in order to divide it by 5, so that dividing the 5 equals part so that everybody can get 9. So let's show that algebraically. So let's show that algebraically. Okay, so it's going to be x divided by 5 is equal to 9. We're going to put the 9 over 1.
1.
We cross multiply. And so it's going to be x times 1, which is
1x.
x times 1. And we're going to have 5 times 9.
45.
Now what is x times 1?
1x.
X. Simply x.
F.
Remember, anything times 1 is itself. What is 5 times 9?
45.
45. So therefore, the number of marbles Dahlia bought was 45. Alright, any questions on that? Okay. Okay, so send this one in. Let me see how you did it. I want to see it from everyone, please. Send this one in. Let me see how you did it. If everything is set up properly. Let's see if anyone is waiting.
Elizabeth.
Yes, ma'am.
Like how you have x times 1 and equal and all of that. I just put 45 below and then just put x equal to 45.
Say it again.
Like how you have x times 1 and then equals to 5 times 9. I just put when I cross multiply, I just put equal to 45 over 1 and then I put x equals to 45.
Let me see. Send it in.
Okay.
You already sent yours in, eh, Miss Cooper? No, don't do it like that, Miss Cooper. No. Don't do it. Don't do it like that. Do it like how I have it.
Okay.
Ashanet, thank you. Michael, thank you. Hi Monique, thank you. Jason, very good. Miss Pennerman, very good. Thank you, Juan Meadows, Chantel, and Veronique McDonald, and Miss Nixon, thank you. Yeah. Alright, so let's move on. This one is pretty straightforward. Any questions from this? Any questions? No? Alright, so let's begin. Let's continue. Alright, so this one is about a bus. So you gotta be paying attention. Oh, but let's see if we got that answer right anyway. Let's see. I don't want to get the answer to any other one. Okay. Yeah. 45, yeah. Okay. I like how they did this. I like how they did this. I like how they did this. I mean, it's the same thing. We just said x divided by 5. We just added the 7 plus the 2. I like that how they did the x divided by 5 to represent Jake's share, and his share is gonna be minus 2. Okay, pretty good. I like how they set this up, but we're also right. 45 marbles is what we got. We got 45 marbles, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Alright, good. Okay, next up is the bus.
So, excuse me, Mr. Petit, I have a question.
Yeah,
So, like how the answer is set up on the one which you showed just
yeah.
now. So, in the examination, will we get any marks off if our working is different, but our answer is the same?
Okay, so these are saying the exact same thing. If you look carefully at our equation and their equation, they're the exact same equation.
Okay.
So let me just show you. If you want me to show you, or you trust me?
You can go ahead and show me.
All right, so
Thanks.
let me show you. Like they're saying the exact same thing, because what happened there is that if you send over the 2, so it becomes x divided by 5 equals to what? 7 plus 2, right? And so it becomes x
Yes,
divided
sir.
by 5 equals to
Okay then.
9. Yeah. So it's the
Cool.
same thing. Yeah.
Alrighty. Thank you.
No problem. We just added the 7 plus the 9 plus the 2 before. So that's it. That's the difference. Alright, so Kennedy, how you doing? I haven't been hearing from you lately.
Tired.
Tired? Are you at school face to face, Kennedy? Now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fully or just hybrid?
Fully for grade 3, 6, 9, and 12.
So that means you.
Yeah.
Ah, boy. Wow. Yeah. But are you liking going back to school? Or do you?
Well, in terms of learning, yes, but with socializing with people, no.
Oh, okay. I guess it takes a while. Alright. But I'm glad to hear your voice. I'm like, where's Kennedy? You know, is she here? Okay. A bus departed from New York at 11 p.m. with 44 passengers. An hour later, a few passengers got off at New Jersey. So write this question down for me, please, and then we can work it out together. The number of passengers who boarded the bus at New Jersey were twice the number of passengers who got off the bus. If the bus has 50 passengers now, how many passengers got off at New Jersey? Okay, so how will we answer this question? So we have a bus departing from New York at 11 p.m. So let's break this down. So at 11 p.m., we have a bus leaving from New York. And how much passengers is going to be in that bus?
44.
44.
44.
44 passengers, right? Someone is asking to join. Okay. And now, so after that, we have 44 passengers here. And then so after hour, a few passengers got off at New Jersey. So this happened at New York. Alright. So all of this is happening at New York. So this is happening at New York. I'm just trying to sketch it out, right? To see what's happening.
So 12 o'clock. Come on.
So 12 o'clock is going to be 12 a.m. So the number of passengers who boarded the bus at New Jersey were twice the number of passengers who got off the bus. Okay, so a few hours later, a few passengers got off at New Jersey. So, okay. So the same bus ended up at New Jersey, right? Sorry, let me write properly. I'm sorry.
They turn the
I'm
seats.
just trying to sketch it out. But 1 hour later, so we have New Jersey, right? And just 1 hour later, so 1 hour later, the number of passengers who boarded the bus at New York, sorry, 1 hour later, a few passengers got off. The number of passengers who boarded the bus at New Jersey were twice the number of passengers who got off the bus. The number of passengers who boarded the bus at New Jersey were twice. Pardon?
Never mind.
Okay. So let's see. So we were at New York. We had 44 passengers. 1 hour later, an amount. Oh, that's the missing amount. How many passengers got off at New Jersey? So the missing amount is what we're trying to find. We're trying to figure out how much actually got off at New Jersey. So what do you think we're gonna call that? The missing amount. Yeah, we're gonna call that X. So at New Jersey, some people got off. We call it X. So X got off. Alright? So X people got off at New Jersey. So X got off. This 1 hour later though. But they tell us that even though some people got off, we call that number X. Even though some people got off, the number of passengers who boarded the bus was twice the number of passengers who got off the bus. So that means that we have a number of people who got off the bus. We call that X. But they're saying that the number of people who boarded the bus was twice the number of people who got off. So that's 2x. So the number of people who boarded the bus is at New Jersey was 2x. If the bus has 50 passengers now, how many passengers got off at New Jersey. Okay, so here's the idea. We had 44 passengers. We know that X got off, right, after an hour. We know how much that is. But we know that if 50 passengers, we know we have 50 passengers now. A certain number was added too. We have 50 passengers now.
How about you do 50 take away 44, then divide it by 2?
Divided by 2 now. If the bus has 50 passengers now, how many passengers? Well, we not. Oh, okay. Well, we not only. Okay. All right. This is what happened. Remember. Okay, let's do it. Remember, we had 44 passengers in the bus. How much got off at New
A
Jersey?
few.
X.
X, right? X got off. Good. But how much people who came on the bus?
Twice as much.
So that would be what? How do you represent that?
Times X times 2 or something like that.
Very good. 2x. How much left? How much left inside the bus?
50.
50.
50.
Right, so that's how we set it up. So let's think about it again. Remember, we have 45 in the bus. We had 45. We take away X because that's how much people got off at New Jersey, right? But even though this is the amount of people that got off at New Jersey, twice as many that got off came in, right? Twice as many that got off came in, and then we know that we are left with 50, right? Want me to explain that again, or no? Are we good?
Yes.
You were repeating one more time.
Explain it again. Okay. So we're
Explain it
saying,
again.
yeah, we're saying that we know that we had 44 passengers. Where do we have 44 passengers?
From New York.
From New
At
York.
New York. At 11 p.m. we had 44 passengers. And they say after hour, some people got off, right? Now, do we know how much got off?
No, sir.
No. So what letter are we gonna use to represent that
X.
X?
X.
So we take away X, right? Because that's how much got off. But even though X got off, how much people came on?
Twice as much.
Twice the number of passengers who got off. So twice, 2 times X. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be 2X. So plus 2X. Why do we plus the 2X?
Because 2 times X is 2X.
No, because we added them, right? They were added to the bus.
They're added to the number of passengers on the bus.
Yeah, they were added to the number of passengers on the bus, right? And they tell us directly that the number of passengers that are on the bus is equal to 50. All right? That's there, okay? And so this is the equation. So how are we going to deal with this?
Gather like terms.
Gather like terms. So, what we could do, and I'm going to do this just to make it easier for us. So 44 plus 2x minus x equals 50. So all I did was switch them. I switched them so that we would be able to see easily what's happening. So what is 2x minus x? X or 1x, right?
Listen.
And then what are we going to do at this point?
You want to do X equals 50 minus 44?
So we got to send over something, right?
Bring the 50 over.
Send
40 over
44 and
44.
44.
Send the 44. Good. Send the 44 over. So x equals 50 minus 44. So x equals, what is 50 minus 44?
6.
6. So therefore, so we're going to write this somewhere here. Therefore, what could we say? Since we know that 6 is x, what we could say? Therefore what?
That 6 passengers boarded
The
bus.
number of passages.
Number of passengers who got off the bus at New Jersey.
Yes, very good.
Or
The number of
6
passengers that got off at New Jersey was 6. Alright, any questions for me on this?
Wait, where the 2 is?
Pardon?
Where's the 2? The 2x.
The 2x?
X.
Right there. What do you mean, Kennedy?
I mean, how come you didn't put it in your equation?
You mean for the number of passengers who got on?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we kind
Oh,
of.
I see it.
You see it? Okay.
Can you go back on the questions there?
No problem.
You want to see this one too?
Yes, please send it. Alright. Any questions for me, please? Very good, Tamara Forbes. This is a very impressive handwriting. Wow. You write very neat, Ms. Forbes. Thank you, Juan. Oh my God. I'm Yes, Santavia. I'm so sorry. That's the name I have you saved as. Alright. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Mikkel. Very good, Mikkel. Alright, so can I move it back to the original thing? Okay, good. Alright, so let's check see if our answer is correct. So that means that 6 people got off. Now, the question is, right, how much people got on at New Jersey? If 6 people got off, 12. Why you say 12? Someone say 12. Why you say 12?
Because 2 times 6 is 12.
Very good. I love it. And they said that what? Twice the number of people who got off got on, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask the question. What if we got a negative number for our answer? What would that tell us?
That a lot of people got off.
What if Nancy?
A lot of people had to have got off, I think.
Nancy, what if we got a negative answer for our? Say this is a negative 6 or a negative 2.
That's
What would that tell us?
it.
What would that tell us?
That's amount of people that we thought didn't get on.
Miss Nixon, What would it tell us?
Would it be the amount of empty seats on the bus or like the amount?
Like, what if we got a negative number? Yes, for our answer. What would that tell us?
The amount of people that was missing or something.
That means
No.
people got off early or something, or like no, like
But wouldn't it make sense how they would get up
yeah, they
and
didn't
give
get
us
off.
some
They
information
get
about that?
they didn't get off when X get off or something.
Uh, all right. It's a very straightforward answer. If we got a negative, if we got a negative number, then we know that we are doing it wrong.
Wrong.
Because how in the world you got negative people?
You can't have
A
negative
lot of people
people.
mustn't get off.
You can't have negative people. So your answer here had to be a whole number, and it had to be a positive whole number. All right. So that's very important um, for um, for this, because you can't. It could be zero. It could have been zero, um, but it couldn't have been negative. All right. So better than mine when you're doing these word problems, that if you got a fraction, like if we got a 3/4, like how you got 3/4 of a person? I mean, unless of course, you know, they are, something happened to them tragically, but you still wouldn't call them 3/4 of a person though. So,
Kind of.
I don't know, you still wouldn't count them as, I mean, if you're in a room and they say how much people in the room, and you have a person who missing their hand and their legs, like, would you say you have 2.5 people in the room, or would you say you have three
That'd be
people in the
kind of
room?
Kind of misleading because they
that'd
usually
be
laugh.
No,
two and a half, I guess.
you wouldn't say 2.5.
I will
That's
right, but like I would
Half
say
is gone, so it have to be.
no, no.
It's
We
not a
don't. We
whole
don't.
number.
No, we can't count people as half, right? Neither can we say
I
negative
wouldn't
amount. Neither would we
No,
say
no. I'm just saying in general.
yeah. Neither would
Like
we say
I think.
neither would we say that it's a negative um, percent. So when you're dealing with these word problems, make sure that you understand that we're dealing with whole numbers, positive whole numbers. All right. Okay. So let's move on to the other one. All right. So all right. So let's move on. Where are we? So let's check if that answer is right. It'll be interesting to see. All right. Yeah, six passengers. I haven't done these before, you know. I mean, I haven't done these exact questions before, so I'm checking along with myself as we do it.
So you just like roll.
I mean, it's just like, okay, what if I ask you right now? What is 3 plus 3?
6.
6, right? Did you study that last night?
For the symbols.
No, I mean, you just
Be
sometimes
honest with you.
you just know. You just like it's no longer you study it. It's just you know it. You know, it becomes a part of you. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. Like this one, I have never done this one before, but we could get it right because it just becomes a
Or
part
you
of
do
you. You know?
similar questions.
Like yeah, you do similar questions and you get the idea. So yeah. Okay, so and you think, I mean, it's not hard. Math is easy. Don't make it hard. Like my teacher always used to say.
Some topic sorry.
Okay, so let's move. So here we talking about Clara. Okay, someone is trying to come in. I imagine. I keep on hearing that sound. I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about Clara. Clara. Okay, let's see. Clara lends half her collection of formal attires to her sister, Suzanne. Clara then buys 4 more attires. If she has 12 attires now, how many attires did Clara had initially? Right? What do we mean by initially? Initially means what?
Much you had first.
At the beginning.
From the beginning.
From the beginning, yeah. So So let's try this one. Try this one on your own. I give you what, 2 minutes? Not 2 minutes. 1 minute to
We get
attempt this
ready.
question.
Yeah, we get
Yeah, that's a part of it. Think
A
about
part
it.
of that 1 minute.
Yeah, it's a part of that 1 minute. 30 seconds ready, then go on asking me about that's a
Ain't
part
no
of it.
way you write that in time.
I know if that's how you all used to write school, bro.
And you want it written neatly?
And it neatly.
See, now
But
that's a little bit of time. That is not enough.
alright. So Clara lends half of a collection of former attires to her sister, Suzanne.
She had to have 12 then. I'm so confused.
Think about it, Abraham.
I to be honest, I don't see it any other way.
So she have 8. Means she had
Alright,
8 then.
any answers? Someone saying 8? Someone saying 8. Any other answers?
Well,
12. Any other
because people
answers?
sleep in
1
1
minute.
minute.
1 minute.
1 minute? We say 1 minute as an answer? 1 minute? Okay, 1 minute. Someone
I
said
don't
1
feel
minute.
stupid for saying 12.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Alright.
Mr. Isaac, can you put it back on the other screen, please?
No problem. So someone said 8, someone said 12, someone said 1 minute.
16?
16.
I said 1 minute. I might have a valid answer. I just
So you
I
switching
also
your
don't think 12 is a valid answer. I just feel like it makes the most logical sense for me. To me. I, maybe I'm not thinking enough. I don't know.
Alright, let's see.
That's the deep.
Yes,
This
sir.
part of the way to say half of
I
it
wasn't
like
able to done the
two.
class yesterday, but tried to go to a final thing yesterday.
Okay, alright, no
You
problem.
saved this?
I sent it to your mother. Because I have her thing her WhatsApp.
I could just ask this part.
Yeah. Ask her for it, please. Someone is asking to join and they can't get in. I don't know what's happening. Oh, there it is. Alright, Miss Cherise Road, are you in now?
You go back on the question there.
Mm-hmm. Cherise Road, are you in? Are you here? Okay, good. Alright, so let's answer the question. Oh my. Who's to say? Okay. Okay, good. So let's answer the question. So we have to think about these things, right? So it says how many attires did she add initially? So you always use this to figure out what your variable is going to be. So what we're going to call x.
Uh,
Um,
How
the
many
tires
did
that
she
she
have
had.
initially?
8?
Yeah. So let x be the number of attires Clara had initially. Okay, so let X be the number of attires Clara had initially. Okay, all right. So if that's the case, then if she had X initially, she's going to lend half of that to her sister. So how are we going to represent that? That she gave half to her sister.
1.5 X.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's say she had 6, and I say she gave half to her sister. How much did she give to her sister?
3.
3. So if she had 6, and she gave half to sister, her sister got 3. If she had 8 and she gave half to her sister got 4. If she had 9 and she gave half to her sister got, let's not use 9, let's use another even number. If she got 10, it'll be 5, right? So the idea is that whatever number you have, and you try and figure out half of it, you would divide it by what?
2.
2.
Divided by 2. So if she had X initially, and she gave half to her sister, how would we represent that in terms of algebra? It'll be what?
X over
It'll be
2.
a half.
X over 2. Very good. Okay? Because it's half of the amount she have. So the amount that she have is X, and we're going to divide that by 2 because we're trying to figure out half of X. Excuse me, or half of the amount of attire she had. Okay, so we know that this represents the amount that she gave to her sister, Suzanne. She buy 4 more attires. So how are we going to denote that? Plus what?
Plus
Plus 4,
4
right? And now how much she
equals
have?
12.
12.
Equals 12.
12. Does anyone have that?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
good.
Okay, I was right. I don't know why I felt so stupid when I said 12. Good.
No,
I really,
wait. We're not finished, Abraham.
bruh.
We're not, we're not finished. We just set up the equation. That's all we did.
You mind explaining?
All right, so you want me to explain the equation again? So, how much she gave to her sister?
4.
A half.
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 How much she had initially though?
My bad. She had 12.
X.
No, she had X
X.
initially, right? Then she gave
X.
half to her sister, so I mean she should still have half left. And then she bought 4 more. Let's see. Wait a minute.
So like when you get 12?
Wait a minute. I'm thinking about something. Okay, would this be 12 though? Because okay, why we divide this by 2? Okay, so she had X. I'm trying to figure this is a good expression to. So she had X. Over the 12 would be. Wait. Let's think about it.
So
I'm
I
thinking
wasn't
about.
lost.
No, I'm thinking about something. I think we might have it wrong. Let's see. She had X in the beginning. She gave away half of that. She bought 4 more. She has 12 left. That's the correct way. All right, let me explain what I mean. She had X in the beginning. She gave away half of that. She added 4. She have 12 left. Let me say it again. She had X. She gave away half. She added 4. Then she have 12 left over. Okay.
So I was right.
No, we're not done. We just put the algebraic equation again.
Oh my
So, Mr. Petit, so
Wait,
basically
that's
you don't know what the initial amount is.
No, we don't know
That's
this.
why you have. That's why you have x less x over 2, right?
Yeah. Okay, so let me explain it again. She had X. That's the amount she had. How much did she give away to her sister?
Half.
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 Half of it.
Half of X. So it's X over 2. You understand what I'm saying?
So that would represent the 2,
Exactly. That would represent the half that she gave. Okay?
right?
And
Whatever
then
x, whatever the initial amount was over
whatever
2.
the over 2. Exactly. Whatever initial amount it was divided by 2. Then after she did this, then she added what? 4 more.
4 more.
And then what she left over is 12. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so Stan, my bad.
No, we don't know how much it is yet. We gotta solve for X first.
No, I just calling it out.
Okay, so alright, this is interesting. So we have to we have to subtract these two expressions here. How will we do that? What is X minus X over 2?
Uh,
I think that's straightforward, you know.
Isn't it one or zero? One?
I mean, it should be. I think,
Isn't it one?
it has to be x over one, maybe.
Well,
no.
what is
two,
0 over 2?
two.
It's zero.
No. This
Then
is
two.
okay. Let's do it right. So let me show you. Keep. So let's do it. So if we have, follow me now. If we have X minus X over 2, what we could do is we could try to figure out what is the lowest common multiple, right? So it's gonna be, we can multiply both top and bottom. This is gonna be multiplied by 1, multiplied by 1, multiply this by 2, multiply that by 2. So we left with 2 times X minus X over 2. So we are left with 2x minus x is x over 2. So x minus x over 2 is x over 2. And that makes sense because, that makes sense because think about it. If you have a quantity and you subtract half away from it, you still have half left. Right? You
One
understand?
question. One question. Where did the 2 over 2
It
come
would be
from?
half in some terms.
Where did the 2 over 2 come from?
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, we're trying to find, alright, between 1 and 2, what is the LCM?
2.
2.
2. Yeah. So you multiply 2 by the bottom. Whatever you do to the bottom, you must do to the top. So it's 2x. So this is 2x right here minus x there. The denominators are the same, so this is 2, and so it's x over 2. But you know what? I don't want to draw that. If you don't get it, don't worry about it. The idea is that I thought I was wrong with this, but in actual fact, when I really think about it, when we did it the long way, we come back to the same thing. So this is actually right too. This is right, and this is easier for you to remember because she gave away half, so I mean she have half left plus 4 and equals 12. So this is right. So we was right from the beginning. I just was thinking about it and I was trying to figure out if I did it wrong, but it came back to the same thing because this is simply x over 2 plus 4 equals 12, which is the same thing we had from the beginning. So we're right.
Sorry,
This is
sorry.
right. This is right from the beginning. So
Finally.
if you don't understand the last two slides, don't worry about it. Just know that it's x over 2 plus 4 equals 12. That represents the situation that we have here. So again, she lends half of her collection to her sister. So if she lends half of her collection, then she have half left, right? Again, if she lend half of her collection, she give away half. She has half left. And we're going to add that to 4 that she got. And then so she should have 12. Let me say it again. If she gave away half, she should have half left. We add that to 4 because she says she buys 4 more tires. And she should have 12 left over. Alright. Any questions on how we got this equation before we solve it?
No, sir.
You sure?
No, sir.
Alright. So let's solve it. So what we're going to do to solve it, we're going to what?
Cross multiply.
No.
Carry the 4 over.
Carry the 4 over.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So if we carry the 4 over, it's going to be equal to 12 minus 4 x over 2, right? So it's going to be x over 2 equals to, what is 12 minus 4?
8.
8.
8. Good. At this point, what do we do?
Put it over 1 over half. Put both sides over half.
How would you do that?
But 8 over 2.
So, Mr. Batia, I have a question for
I'm
you.
gonna get x by itself.
You want to get x by itself. So what are we going to do at this point?
Divide by
But
2.
No, we
But
already have.
but I say
There's 2 at the
something
bottom.
because x would represent 1 in this case, right?
X is the coefficient of x is a half in this case.
Yeah, so that's why I said a half would be 1 over 2, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do we do at this point though?
You put a 2, a 2 both sides over half.
No, definitely not.
What?
Definitely not.
But right?
Kennedy, what do we do at this point? I know Kennedy is the maths junkie.
I can say a lot.
We've been doing it all night. We did it for the first question. We did it yesterday. Cross multiply, yeah.
So, Mr. Batia, when I say put the 8 over the 1, who did mean?
You did say that? So
Yes,
cross
sir.
multiply. So when we cross multiply, I'm going to put it on this side. But you all continue below. So it's going to be what? 1 times x, which equals to
X.
2 times what?
8.
8. What is 1 times x? X. What is 2 times 8? 16. So the correct answer is 16. So she had 12 initially, she had 16 initially, not 12. Sorry, Abraham.
Honestly, I feel so confused out of that.
Oh, you was
Honestly.
I saw 8. I was like, you're probably right. Then he saw 12. He thought he's right. Now that I'm confused, right?
No, I started to confuse right after you said it, and I honestly thought it was gonna be 8 or 16.
I'm confused out myself.
Alright, but it's 16. So 16, 16 she had from the beginning.
It's strange, because I put that over 1 and a half, and I got 6.
I feel like this was way.
I don't know.
Pardon?
I put it over half, and I got 16, honestly.
What you did? How you got that?
Okay.
You multiply both sides by 2?
No, I put both sides by half.
Ah, no man, alright.
I'm
I don't
telling
know what
you.
to.
Okay, put the get okay, put because what I did at the beginning was I put one a half and I put X on side of it basically. And then so going straight down, and then when I got to the very end where you have the cross multiply, I didn't cross multiply. I just put both sides over half, and then when you
Oh, so
punch,
you already had 0.5x as you had.
I had one ma I don't know what I had it in fraction. So when I put 8 divided by a half, I got automatically 16.
That's true. Because you divide both sides by
A half.
a half. Because you literally divide both sides by a half. That's interesting. I mean, if because it would work because when you divide it by a half, what happens is it flips. Because you then you divide by a fraction, um, it'll flip, and so it'll end up doing what your calculator actually did was 8 times 2. I don't know if you understand, but
Her logic was really smart.
yes. But don't try it at an exam, please. Cross multiply.
I didn't know what I was doing, honestly, because it confused me from the halves. I was like, just gotta go all out.
Just gotta go out. Yeah. All right. All right. Send this one in as well. Send this one in as well.
Miss Mateen, you check to see my answers, right?
Very good, Miss Nixon. Very good. Good. Thank you, Abraham. Thank you, Miss Shantavia.
Pardon me? I went to open the door.
No, I said
Say it
thank you
again.
for sending. Thank you for sending it. Very good.
Okay.
So, Mr. Petit, so we would still have to write the sentence to answer the question, right?
Yeah. So let's do that. So
Okay.
so the number of attires. She got plenty of money. She buying four new attires, giving away half. The number of attires Clara had initially was what? 16.
16.
Thank you, Deshawn. Thank you, Ashanet. Thank you, Yon. And thank you, Harry. No, and Angela Penniman. Very good. Thank you, Jason Rule. 1. Very good. Now, I've noticed that a lot of people, you're writing exactly what I have on the screen. Remember, I only write like this because I cannot go down further. You don't have to put it on the side. What I wanted you to do is continue it down further. Alright? So just
Okay.
because I put it on the side, I didn't mean that you would put it on the side. I just put it down because I couldn't go lower. Alright? So please bear that in mind. Thank you, Deshawn. Thank you, Ashnet. And thank you, Mikkel. So where are the others? I'm only receiving notes from a few people. Where are the others? This will be a good time to take a register. I'm taking the register late tonight. Wow, this is a far cry. We only have 39 people today. See, that's the thing.
Time
What?
moving fast too.
Yeah, time is moving fast. I was surprised. When I was at school today, I put Tuesday on the board. And
You
my
tested
students
your
is,
students.
yeah, I students is like, today is Wednesday. I say, come on, y'all can't take a test? Come on. Y'all can't take a
Oh,
test?
come on, Mr. Mitchell. You still doing that?
I still doing that. It's 2022. I'm still doing that, right? All right. But today is Wednesday. I was surprised, honestly. I'm like, wow, the week just flying. The week is flying, man. It's flying. Okay, so, all right. So let's see if we were right. Let's see if we were right. Dun dun dun. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. And yeah, you were definitely right. X over 2 plus 4 equals 12. 16 attires. Okay, so moving right along. Okay, so let's do this one about the Rock Zoo nurses. So the Rock Zoo nurses, so let's put it on the side. Alicia Reckley, are you here? Or she went to prayer meeting. I ain't hearing from Miss Reckley. What am I not hearing from? I haven't heard from Wayne, neither Ty Monique, neither Treasure. What's happening, Treasure? Um, Natalia, I'm not hearing from you. Kenan, I haven't seen any notes yet. Hestiny, Adderley, please send in your notes, please.
Mr.
Yeah,
Jared, tell you my problem, Mr. Petit.
Oh yes, that's true. That's true. And the Nari rule, please send in the notes. Sean Collins, send in the notes, please.
Waiting on my phone to charge.
Okay. And Adrian Suzuki, please send in the notes, please. Okay, so let's continue. So we are on the Rock Zoo. So the Rock Zoo nurses 37 species of big cats. Now, when they say big cats, what do they mean? Stuff like what?
Like jaguars and stuff.
Yeah. Like lions and tigers and those big cats, right? Lions, tigers, um, cheetahs. Those are what we call big cats. So the Rock Zoo nurses 37 species of big cats. That's a lot. Recently, a few species of big cats were sponsored to other zoos around the country. The zoo now nurses only 25 species. How many species of big cats were sponsored to other zoos? This one feel easy. You all could try it. I give you all some time to try it. The Rock Zoo
12.
nurses say 12. Oh, you in love with this 12, you know. Let's see. He says 12. Alright, the Rock Zoo nurses 37 species of big cats. Some were sponsored. The zoo only has 35 now.
Well,
Okay, I'm confident about 12 now.
You confident about 12 now? Like 12 have to be right. That's like how you were confident
yes.
about 12 last time, right?
I say 12
Last
also.
time I was unsure. I'm
Last,
100%.
you're 100% sure it have to be 12. Alright. So we're gonna say, Alright, welcome Michaela. Okay, so let's what we're gonna say is we're gonna let x be the number of species
If you wanna use more than letter, like I think you can just use X mostly.
I mean, not that we can't use any other number, not any other letter. It's just that X is the one that's most famously used, and it's the one that we choose. It's not necessary to use X. It's just that also too a lot of the equations that come usually use X too, so it's nice to get used to seeing X. But we could use different letters. But let X be the number of species of big cats that was sponsored. And so if that's the case, we know that a certain amount was sponsored. We don't know how much that is. But we do know that, sorry. Okay, thought someone was trying to join. But we do know that X is the number that was sponsored. So a certain number was sponsored. We do know that the zoo had 37 and now it have 25. So the number that was sponsored is simply going to be what? 37 minus
37 minus 25.
5,
which is what?
12.
12.
12. Okay, so the answer is 12. So 12 was sponsored. I'm surprised at this one. This one is seemed too easy. Let's see.
So
Let's
yes,
check.
whichever
I don't
is
know.
the next one.
Pardon?
Probably the next one will be X one.
Yeah, 12.
Gabriel, I'm dancing with joy right now.
I know, I know. I'm surprised he didn't say that. He probably left. Because I know if he was there, he would have make that a point. Alright. Okay, so
Can you go back one place? Like big picture?
no problem. The question or the working?
Both. Question and
Both.
waiting.
Alright, no problem. So this is the last one of these set. So we're gonna do all 5. Okay, pretty good.
Mr. Petit,
Yes, ma'am.
I have it.
um, you know that I have no more pages in my math book, right?
Pardon?
I have no more pages. It's the last page.
Right on your hand.
I done changed bucket now unless you only
Wow.
first one.
Wow. Wow. Very good, Miss Nancy. Well, Miss Cooper, we know you have health science, general science. Sorry, we know you have social studies, arcade.
I have
Nope.
different books for them.
Yeah, all of them have their own book. It's just Matthew. Be
Yeah,
killing
We
it.
go and Mr. Petit. We go on.
yeah, we just go all in it, math. That's true. Yeah, that's true. You're right. That's why if any of y'all fail y'all exam, don't call me, cause we did every single thing for maths for sure. For math for sure. If it's one exam you're gonna fail, at least shouldn't. is math. Right? Now English is difficult. I gotta be honest. English is you guys just gotta know. I mean, English is you
Really,
just
English ain't all that bad.
English. No man, I feel English is worse than math, in my opinion. I
It all
feel like
depends on essay
Yeah,
topics,
that's
what you doing.
Minister is the triangle line. That's what I mean.
I feel like English
Topic.
English is like English is like it's hard to teach English and it's easier to teach math. And the reason I say this is because math is like, okay, I can teach you the rules, I can teach you the formulas, and okay, good, you know, right? For English, it's like, I mean, how do I teach you how to comprehend? You know, it's difficult. That one is harder. You know what I mean? Because then, you know, what I mean, you need to learn vocabulary words. You need to learn. You need to be learn how to be creative too. You know, how could I teach you how to learn how to be creative? Like that's hard. You know, to teach someone to be creative. You know, that's difficult. Um, um, and so English, a large part of English is just reading new things, like how we did last class. You know, just reading new things and finding new words that you never heard of before, and seeing how those words are used. Um, that's how you're gonna make it with English. So that you could be
I
able
have a
to
question.
notice. Go ahead.
Did I ever finish last class?
We did 1 through 10. Now we're gonna do 11 through 20.
Like today?
Yeah, today, tonight.
Okay.
Okay. So Megan and four of her friends plan to go for a long drive. She buys 12 bottles, right? She buys 12 bottles of frappe and a few bottles of orange juice from a supermarket. The total number of bottles that they have are 4 times that of orange juice bottles. How many bottles of orange juice did Megan buy? So we're gonna let X be what?
The orange juice.
Let X be the number, right? Let X be the number. Let X be the number of bottles of orange juice. So let X be the number of bottles of orange juice. So let X be the number of bottles of orange juice. And who bought those?
Megan and four friends.
Megan
Yeah.
and her 4 friends.
Who bought it?
Megan and her four
Megan
friends.
and 4 of her friends.
No. Who bought the
No,
orange juice?
Megan.
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 That's the thing. All 5 of them wants to go and for the long drive, but who taking all the bill?
Oh yeah, because it says that they plan to go for
Yeah,
a
they
long run, but
plan to
she
go for a
died.
ride, but she's the one who toting the bill. That's how it always is. Everybody excited. Yeah, let's go there. Let's go this way. Let's go that way. How much money
Just
you
the
bring?
look.
But they ain't spend no money though.
They ain't want to spend no money. They ain't want to spend no money. Let X be the number of bottles of orange juice that Megan buy. You can imagine that? Imagine if all of them to team up to buy it. You think the burden would go on Megan? No.
Just drink this one.
You know, they would even buy more. But anyway, let's assume that Megan is the rich friend, so let's assume that she has the money. So let X be the number of bottles of orange juice that Megan buy. Okay, so that's X. Megan and her 4 friends plan to go for a ride. She buys 12 bottles of frappe and a few bottles of orange juice in the supermarket. The total number of bottles they have are 4 times that of orange juice. So the total number of bottles that we have, the total number now, is going to be what? The total number of bottles. It's going to be what?
12.
12.
No. No. 4x. They said it. The total number of bottles they have are what? 4 times that of orange juice.
4 times the amount of orange juice bottle.
Exactly. So
Alright.
4 times the amount of orange juice is 4x, right? 4 times x, the amount of orange juice bottles. We understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's the total amount. Alright, that's the total amount. Sorry, that's the total amount. 4 times x, the number of orange juice bottles, right? This is the total amount. Okay, but we know that the number of orange juice bottles, the number of bottles rather, is going to be, you're going to have 12 bottles of frappe, right? So 12 bottles of frappe plus a few bottles of orange juice, so it's going to be x. And so there we have our equation. Because they're saying that, what? She bought 12 bottles of frappe, and she bought some bottles of orange juice. We don't know how much that is. But all the amount of bottles equal to 4 times that of orange juice. So 4x. So let me explain it again. Again, she bought 12 bottles of frappe. She bought a few bottles of orange juice. We don't know what it is, so we call it x. And all that is going to be equal to the total amount of bottles, which we know is 4 times the amount of orange juice bottles that she had. And so the equation is 12 plus x equals 4x. Okay, so how would we go about doing this question?
You carry over the 12.
Carry over the 12, very good. So we're going to send the 12 over. And then what else we need to send over?
Mr. Petit, you could just
So 4x.
The 4x need to get sent over too. Alright. And so this is another going to be, x minus 4x, which equals to
12.
negative 12. Be careful.
12.
Sorry, negative 12.
Negative 12. Any questions for me before we move on?
Why you have to send over the 4x? Okay, just carry the 12.
Because we want x's on one side, and
So
then
it couldn't be x equals 4x minus 12.
say it again.
It couldn't be x equals 4x minus 12.
Say it again.
I say it couldn't be x equals 4x minus 12.
Say it again, please.
It couldn't be x equals 4x minus 12.
No, because we want x on one side, all the x's on one side, and all the numbers on the other side. That's why we move the x to the left.
Oh, so you want it in front of the equal sign?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So can I move this? Let me know if I can move this.
Hold on one second.
No problem.
You can move it.
Okay. Alright, so let's move it. So it's gonna be so x minus 4x x minus 4x equals to, we continue in it with it, we're not done. So what is x minus 4x?
Negative 3x.
Say it again.
Negative
Negative
3x.
Very good.
Negative 3x.
Negative 3x equals to negative 12.
12.
Okay. Then we are going to divide both sides by
3.
Negative 3.
negative 3. Yeah.
Sorry, negative 3.
Yeah, negative 3. Good. And then now we cancel out. This cancels with that. So x is going to be equal to, follow me now, negative 12 divided by negative 3. What is negative 12 divided by negative 3?
Negative 4.
Negative
Pardon?
4.
Positive 4.
For positive 4, only when you
Yeah.
multiply, it would be like this.
Because when you are dividing two negatives, it becomes a positive. When you are multiplying two negatives, it becomes a positive. So
So
bear that
only
in
when you
mind.
multiply and divide it, it becomes positive form.
Yeah, so for example, if I say, because think about it, a negative divided by a negative, let's say we have negative 2 divided by negative 2, what's going to happen is these negatives is going to cancel each other. So that's why it end up being positive. Okay? Same thing with if we had negative 3 divided by negative 3. Like, the negatives are going to cancel each other, making it positive. So every time you divide in a negative by a negative, it becomes a positive. Alright? And every time you're multiplying a negative by a negative, it becomes a positive. So bear that in mind. Are we good? So it's a positive 4. So let me know. We're good?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Okay, so how are we going to end this, right? So what is the answer? The
4.
number, yeah, what is the number? What is the answer? How are we going to put it in words?
Um,
Therefore, the number of orange juice
Therefore,
bottle
Megan bought
Megan bought 4
4
bottles.
bottles of orange juice.
Very good. Therefore, the number of bottles of orange juice that Megan bought was 4. Okay, so once you write that, I want to see it, please. Especially from people who I'm not hearing from, like Wayne. I'm not hearing anything from you. Who else who I haven't seen? Kenan Sanders. I'm not hearing anything from you. Tanisha Moss. I'm not hearing anything from you. No notes at all. And the other ones who have not sent in anything. If you know you have not sent in anything, please send it in, please. I'm just getting the same thing from the same people. Thank you, Miss Cooper. Very good. I like that you inserted the note there, Megan. I mean, Miss Nixon. When you divide a negative by a negative, you become a positive. Very good. Thank you, Natalia. For some people, I'm still not getting, and I haven't got anything from the night from them. If you know you have not sent anything from the night, please send in stuff. Send in something.
I was trying to see, my phone is not handy right now, but I'll send them after class.
Okay, no problem. Well, you've been sending from. I know you here. I know you. I know you on point. Okay, so thank you, Michaela, Michael. Thank you, Ashnet. Thank you, Time Monique. Very good, Time Monique. Very good. All right, so who I haven't received anything from. Wayne, Wayne, I need to see something from you. Vontae, I need to see something from you. From you. Zaria, what's happening tonight, Zaria? I haven't got anything from you yet. Who else? Treasure, Solana, I'm not getting anything from you. Sheen, Sanders, Chantel, I'm not getting anything from you. This Miller person, I haven't got anything from you, Miller. I know your situation, Jonathan. Lionel, what's happening? Okay, well, Miller, send it through. Send it through email. Lionel, I'm not hearing from you tonight. Kenan Sanders, please send in something. Jason, I think Jason sent. Haley Williams, Elvano Johnson, please send something. I haven't received anything from you. Who else? I'm trying to remember. Deshaun Adderley. Wait, yeah, I got some from Deshaun. Sean Collins, please send in something. And Miss Penniman. Oh, Miss Penniman did send. And Adrian Suzuki, send in something, please. Okay. Alright, so that's it for these five. This was five that we did. Let's see if we got that right anyway. I think we got that right. What do you think?
Hope so.
Hope so. Cross the fingers. Yeah, yeah.
Of course.
Of course. Alright, definitely. Okay, so that's how we simplify, not simplify, but that's how we translate words. It's amazing, right? And it's supposed to be like, what you could use math for in the real world. Like, literally, if you know what you're doing, you could use it, right? Um, and so these are just real world examples of using mathematics. Okay, math is in everything, boy. Okay, so that's two step. And these ones should be So these ones with fractions. Let's do the one with the multiple choice. I like this one. Let's pick this one. We only have a few more moments, so let's do this one. So read and interpret each word problem and choose the two-step equation that best represents the situation. So write this down for me. But we're going to do it with multiple choice, so it's easier. So that means that we have an option to choose from, right? And so we don't have to think too hard or make up our own. It's right there in front of us. Alright, so let us continue. So it says here, read and interpret each word problem and choose the two-step equation that best represents the situation. So Daniel and John, both of these are Bible names, by the way. Daniel and John. Daniel, Old Testament or New Testament? Anyone can remember?
Old.
Old, yeah. John, Old
Old.
Testament.
No.
Old? John?
No.
Old?
No, Daniel.
Oh. Okay. John is New Testament, right? Okay, so Daniel and John ordered a New York style pizza, which has 8 slices in total. Daniel ate X slices of pizza, while John consumed 1/3 of what Daniel had. Alright, so which one of these represents the situation clearly? Oh my, this is easy. Think about it. Anyone can... What do you think it is?
B, maybe?
What is it?
B?
B? You're saying B? So someone is saying B. Anyone else? Think about it.
D.
D? D. Who said D?
Kennedy.
Kennedy. So Kennedy says D. Alright. The maths junkie. Or should I say the maths guru? Anyone else?
As the math joker.
I know, true. Don't mind it, yeah?
D as well.
D. Someone said D.
So I'm gonna go with
I
D.
go with D, Mr. Petit.
You going with D. You just saying, let me just go with D. So since they...
No. Like I think I
No, you
yeah,
say, no. You say, I
no,
going with D.
I was thinking of it like that. Like I
Yeah,
choose
yeah,
D.
yeah. You choose D. And as Cooper say, well, since everybody on that boat, let me just go on that boat too.
No, that's not what happened.
Nancy, I'm not hearing from you. What is it?
No, sorry, I'm writing. And
Oh,
give
you're
me
writing.
1 minute.
Okay. 1 minute. So Nancy said 1 minute. So 1 minute is
Again?
an option. Again. 1 minute is an option. All right. I don't see 1 minute as an option, Nancy. But anyway. Okay. So okay, it's either B or D that they're saying, right? So let's see. So they had 8 slices in total. So we know that it's supposed to be equal to 8. So that's all of them equal to 8. So that's good. But Daniel ate 8 slices. So that's how much Daniel ate. He ate 8 slices. He ate, sorry, X slices. That's how much slices of pizza Daniel ate. X slices, right? Now, John consumed. What does it mean to consume?
Eat.
Eat. Or give me it in Martin language. Is that addition or subtraction?
Subtraction.
Subtraction.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
They're taking away.
that's the amount they're taking away.
Exactly, it's taken away, right? So he had X, right? He ate X, but John consumed 1/3 of what Daniel ate. So Daniel ate X, but John is gonna consume or what? Take away, right?
Take away.
Wait. wait, 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 wait,
What
wait,
the
wait,
fraction? What's the
wait,
fraction here?
wait. We gotta be careful. We gotta be careful. Wow, this is interesting. Wow, it's actually B, you know. It's
Yes,
actually B.
yes, yes, yes.
It's actually B. It's actually B. Let me explain to you why. All right, sorry before you kill me. It's actually B. That's interesting, right? Because think about it. It says 8 slices in total. What is total?
The entire number.
Addition?
The
Addition
addition,
of
yeah.
whole
Add.
number.
Yeah, so you have to add for that, right? So we know that the number of slices, so you have to add in order to get the 8 slices, right? So the 8 slices is going to be a combination of what Daniel had and how much Daniel had.
Oh, X.
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 And it's going to be a combination of what John had. What John had.
He had 1/3 of what Daniel
X
had.
over 3.
Of what Daniel had.
So we can't subtract them. We have to what?
No.
We have to
Add.
add them. Yeah. So,
Yes, finally.
so
It's powerful.
Abraham, we give you that one for the night. Very good, Abraham.
We give it to him twice. He went too much now.
I know he went into too much.
I take my W one
But
night.
he worked out and got a fair and square though.
Yeah, fair and square, right? Fair and square. No man, that was a guess. Don't mind him, yeah. That was a guess. He guessed
What,
that.
bro?
No, that was
That was a pure guess. You had a feeling
I
it's
did.
B?
I swear.
Show me your working then. Show me your working before. Let me see your working before.
Good night.
My,
Nah, don't go write up
I
something now. Don't go.
okay. Listen, let me explain. I didn't guess it, but I didn't write it down.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Go back to
tried.
question blue.
Alright, no problem. Okay, but we can give that to you. I'm Abraham. Fair and square. Fair and square. I even thought it was D. Until I really looked at it. Okay, good.
So, Mr. Isaac, I noticing that you have to pay a lot of attention to the words because they could give you the right answer sometimes.
Yes, definitely. Pay attention into the words is correct. Okay, next up. Next up is number 2. So we can't let them trick us this time. Do we have time for this? Abraham, you're on a winning streak, so let's not lose this winning streak. No pressure, by the way. No
Pardon me,
pressure.
what you say?
I say you're on a winning streak. Let's not lose this winning streak.
you about to lose it.
I'd rather not.
You added no. No pressure though. No pressure. No pressure at all. Okay. The parking lot at Dollar General has a total of 54 parking spaces. X parking spaces were occupied by the employees of the supermarket. 36 spaces were reserved exclusively for the customers. Which one of these represents the situation?
See?
All right. Ms. Cooper says. So you want taking the bandwagon no more. You want to take
D?
it? D. Okay. All right. Abraham jeez. Abraham is saying D.
You about to lose this.
Well, y'all make me feel nervous, bro. I scared.
All right. Abraham, the returning champion, says D. Let's see if he keeps his title.
Really?
All right. Lionel vindicates or affirms the D. All right. I laugh so hard that it's not D. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else? Nancy, you're quiet.
B.
All right, someone say B. Who said B?
I go with B too.
Who said B?
Solano.
Solana.
McDonald.
Okay. And Veronique McDonald
Yes.
vindicate or asserts the B. Let me use the Solana. Now Solana is a silent maths guru. So we'll see. All right, Nancy, I'm not hearing from you now. Nancy,
I want
too
Troy
quiet.
A.
Me? I
Ricardo said,
like my own answer, but I didn't figure if it add up to what I said.
but it doesn't even add up to what you said.
No, it added up, but like if you reverse, it'd be the same thing, right? So let's say if you put a number before another one, like it's not the equal sign, it's just you could swap out the numbers, right?
So what you going with?
Okay, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna go with B.
You go with B. She's risking it. Risking it. Nancy is risking it. So we have all the letters on this board. So so A, B, or C. Wow. All right. Let's see. Okay, so the parking lot at Dollar General has 54 parking spaces. Okay, that's how much. Now in total, right? So this word total is important. So it has a total of 54 parking spaces.
Precipitate. Sorry, before you give the answer, I have a question, right?
Uh-huh.
I have X minus 36, right? So B would be like a reverse of that, right?
You have X minus 36?
Uh-huh.
No.
But so it'll be like it'd be different equation or like a different equation.
The reverse of it would be negative X plus 36.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, X parking spaces were occupied. So it has a total of 54 parking spaces, so we know that. So the total parking space we have is 54 in total. X parking spaces were occupied by the employers of the market. 36 spaces were reserved exclusively for customers. How much do we have in total? So we know that. Let's go. Sorry. Oh wow, I erased all the thing. But we know that we had X is occupied by the employees. We know we have 54 in total. 36 is reserved exclusively for the customers. Alright, so it's X plus, okay, it's X plus 36 give us 54. The reason why we know this because it's a total of 54 parking spaces. So we know the parking spaces are going to be made up of those that were occupied, which is X, and those that are reserved. Alright? Again, the parking lot is made up of those that are reserved, those that are occupied, which is X, and those that are reserved. And so all that is going to be equal to 54. Now the question is, do we see this exactly on the question? And the answer is no, we don't see it exactly, but we could rearrange it such that it forms what we have here. And the way we could do it is if we send the X over the equal sign, this becomes equal to 36, which equals to 54 minus X. And so we have 54 minus X equal to 36. And so the correct answer is A.
So no one choose A?
No, someone you choose.
That was me.
Someone did choose me.
I guess that.
Wow.
It was
Well,
Ricardo.
You taking
What
the
happened?
chicken for the chicken?
What happened, Abraham? What happened?
I'm very disappointed.
You were disappointed?
Oh no.
All right. Should I explain it again?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. So the idea here is that um 54 is the total, all right, amount of parking spaces. That's the total amount of parking spaces. And so the number of parking spaces is going to be made up of two things. It's going to be made up of the parking spaces that are employed by the employees, which is X, and the parking spaces that are reserved exclusively for the customers, which is 36. So X plus 36 equals to 54. All right. Now all we need to do, because we know this is correct, but we have to switch it in such a way that it fits for one of these. All right. And so we know if we send this over, right? If we send this over, it becomes this positive X is going to become what? A negative X.
Get it back.
And so it's going to be 54 minus X equals to 36. And so we just switch the equation around. Because if 36 equals to 54 minus X, then that means that 54 minus X equals 36. And so that means we would have exactly what we have here. So the correct answer is A. Okay, so unfortunately that's all we have time for math. We're going to move on to English language. I can't wait for English language. I'm actually excited for English language tonight. I like reading those and dealing with those interesting stories. So we're gonna deal with that tonight.
I'm
So
actually excited to have you on my track tonight,
yeah, until we get back into clauses and past participle and
We need a break.
we need a break. Eh? All right. Any questions for me before we move on?
No, sir.
No.
Also,
Okay. Send in the math notes for me, please, and then we moving on to the English language.
specifically, I thought 54 is gonna be at the end. You see the total was 54. I wasn't expecting it to be 36.
Pardon?
I said I wasn't expecting it to be equal to 36. I thought it's gonna be like equal to 54.
It is equal to 54, but we had to switch it around. When we switch it around, it looks like it equals 36. But that's because we switch it around initially. I mean, we switch it around at the end. Okay? So this is how it's supposed to be. X plus 36 equals 54. But what they did is they changed the equation around to, make it a challenge for you all. So that means that you would think that the answer would be B or C. You know?
That sounds like
Yeah.
something you put 54 either B or C.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So send in the maths notes for me, especially those who I haven't heard or seen anything from. All right. Okay, so let's move on to um to this. Okay, so who's gonna? Oh, I want Miss Nixon to read. Miss Nixon, can you read again for us, please? If you don't mind. All right. Well, she isn't there yet. She isn't there no more. That means I have to read this. Oh, man. Okay. All right. So I'll read it. Okay, we ready for English? Let me know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Okay. All right, good. Okay, so let's read it. So the questions that we're going to be dealing with today are going to be from 11 to 20. Remember we did 1 through 10 last class. Okay, we did 1 through 10 last class, and we talked about how we, supposed to, deal with it and understand it and stuff like that. Now we are going to move on to question number, we're going to do 11 through 20. And so let's deal with it. So it says here, questions 11 to 20 are based on the following passage and supplementary material. Always read the passage, okay? Read the entire passage. Don't skip through. Do not skip through. Do not try to answer the questions first. No. Read the passage, the entire thing, so you get a general sense of the question, of the passage. So this passage is adapted from Taras Briscoe Scavenger, Saving Our Cities and Ourselves from the Automobile. Copyright 2012 by Taras Briscoe. So, though there are 600 million cars on the planet and counting, there are also 7 billion people. Which means that for the vast majority of us, getting around involves taking buses, ferry boats, commuter trains, streetcars, and subways. In other words, traveling to work, school, or the market means being a scrap franger. Somebody who, by choice or necessity, relies on public transport rather than a privately owned automobile. Half the population of New York, Toronto, and London do not own cars. Public transport is how most of the people of Asia and Africa, the world's most populous continents, travel. Every day, subway systems carry 155 million passengers, 34 times the number carried by all the world's airplanes, and the global public transport market is now valued at 428 billion annually. A century and a half after the invention of the internal combustion engine, private car ownership is still an anomaly. And yet, public transportation in many minds is the opposite of glamour, a squalid last resort for those who, one too many impaired driving charges, too poor afford insurance, or too decrepit to get behind the wheel of a car. In much of North America, they are right. Taking transit is a depressing experience. Anybody who has waited far too long on a street corner for the privilege of boarding a lurking or overcrowded bus, or rustled luggage onto subways and shuttles to get to a big city airport, knows that transit on this continent tends to be underfunded, ill-maintained, and ill-planned. Given the opportunity, who wouldn't drive? Hopping in a car almost always gets you to your destination more quickly. It doesn't have to be like this. Done right, public transport can be faster, more comfortable, and even cheaper than private automobile. In Shanghai, German-made magnetic levitation trains skim over elevated tracks at 266 miles an hour, whisking people to the airport at a third of the speed of sound. In provincial French towns, in provincial French towns, electric-powered streetcars silently on rubber tires sliding through narrow streets alongside a single guide rail set into cobblestones. From Spain to Sweden, Wi-Fi equipped high-speed trains seamlessly connect with highly ramified metro networks, allowing commuters to work on laptops as they prepare for the same day meetings in once distant capital cities. In Latin America, China, and India, working people board fast-loading buses that move like subway trains along dedicated busways, leaving the sedans and SUVs of the rich mired in dawn-to-dusk traffic jams. And some cities have transformed their streets into cycle paths, freeways, making giant strides in public health and safety and sheer livability of their neighborhoods. In the process, turning the workaday bicycle to a viable form of mass transit. If you credit the demographers, this transit trend has legs. The millennials, who reached adulthood around the turn of the century and now outnumber baby boomers, tend to favor cities over suburbs and are far more willing than their parents to ride buses and subways. Part of the reason is their ease with iPads, MP3 players, Kindles, and smartphones. You can get some serious texting done when you're not driving, and earbuds offer effective insulation from all but the most extreme commuting annoyances. Even though there are more teenagers in the country than ever, only 10 million have a driver's license versus 12 million a generation ago. Baby boomers may have been raised in a leave it to the Beaver suburbs, but as they retire, a significant contingent in favor is favoring older cities and compact towns where they have the option of walking and riding bikes. Seniors too are more likely to use transit, and by 2025 there will be 64 million Americans over the age of 65. Already, dwelling in older neighborhoods in Washington, D.C., Atlanta, and Denver, especially those near light rail or subway stations, are commanding enormous price premiums over suburban homes. The experience of European and Asian cities shows that if you make buses, subways, and trains convenient, affordable, comfortable, fast, and safe, a surprising large percentage of citizens will opt to ride than drive. And so here we have some pictures. We have figure 1, primary occupation of public transportation passengers in US cities, and figure 2, the purpose of transportation trips in US city. Okay, so I want someone to tell me in summary, what is this passage about? In summary, what is this
Uh,
passage about?
uh,
Limitation
public
of funds.
transportation is underestimated.
About
Public transportation is one at a time, please. Abraham says public transportation is underestimated. Anyone else?
he was talking
In
about
summary,
how people prefer public transportation instead of getting their own vehicles, and how they could like if they do certain stuff to like increase the speed or make it more comfortable, like people may want to use public transportations more.
okay, all right, very good. Anyone else? The main idea. What is this? In summary, what is this talking about?
About
Transportation.
Go ahead. I could barely hear you.
Oh, I was saying in summary, it's basically showing you the benefits of transport. To me, it's just showing you the benefits of transportation and how if they're just showing you the benefits and really showing you if it's up for a change and how it would be kind of like people see like the benefits and if they prefer to go on the bus rather than go in their cars. I just think this person is just showing you the benefits of public transportation.
The benefits of public transportation. All right. Did you find this one easier to understand than the first essay?
Yes, sir. Very much.
Definitely.
Yeah, most
All
definitely.
right. Yeah, most definitely. All right. Do you think it's because you could relate more to this?
Let's pick a
I
word.
agree.
Yeah, you can relate more to this one
Yeah.
over than
Uh,
color.
yes. Let me ask a question. Um, which part do you relate, or can you relate to in this essay? What part of the essay can you relate to?
Public transportation being uncomfortable.
Uh, yes. Anyone else? What part can you relate to?
Same. It's uncomfortable.
In uncomfortable.
That it's that it's uncomfortable, right? I think when he's talking about how it's uncomfortable, all I could have do was smile because all throughout high school and primary school and high school, the way I got to school was public transportation. And let me tell you something. It wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant. Like he said, you wait dead long, right? Waiting too long, right? And then when you come in there, this is before COVID, so they used to overcrowd the bus. Anyone know what I'm talking about, or it's just me?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
Listen
understand.
to
No, we get what you're talking about.
All right. You overcrowd the bus. You sit in those many I can't remember what those seats are in between. What they call that?
Excuse me, seats.
Excuse me seats.
You mean them seats
Selena.
that they pull down?
Yes, excuse me seats. Yeah, sitting in those. Boy, I used to hate them because every minute you have to move, and then the bus drivers they music so loud
In
because they trying
horrible.
to they trying
Especially
they
that
trying to
waiting music be too nice.
And then you feel every
exactly right.
pothole in the road.
Every port man, it was crazy. But I like this. I really like this essay because it showed me things I didn't know because it talked about how hey it doesn't have to be like this. What okay, first of all, what are some negative commentary that it gave on public transportation? Some negative stuff it talked about.
Uncomfortable.
Being
It's
overcrowded,
uncomfortable, overcrowded. What
Restrooms.
else?
Slow.
waiting too long.
You don't have no privacy.
No privacy.
Take
Give me something from the passage. I have it on the screen. Something from the passage
taking too
that
long.
talks about.
Yeah,
We talk about that waiting too long. Overcrowded.
Overcrowded.
The luggage
Something else.
What's the luggage?
It
luggage
right
problem.
here.
Ill maintained
They are what? Ill
Maintenance.
maintained
and
Ill
ill
plan.
planned.
and what? An ill plan, right?
Underfunded.
So and underfunded. So that means that I like that. Someone I hearing myself. Right? Why am I hearing myself? Okay.
Wait a minute.
So it's I like that what they did is that they okay, who did they put the blame on for the problem of the public transportation? Who they put the blame on?
Big city echo.
No. Who they put the blame on?
Government.
The government, right? Because they're saying that hey, it's underfunded. Who is gonna provide the funding for the for the public transportation? Who's gonna provide that?
government.
The
Government.
government, right? And they're saying that hey, it's ill maintained. What does it mean to be ill maintained?
Not
Not to
properly,
be
but
echo.
not maintained in a proper way, maybe.
Yeah, it's not kept up. Like if you don't keep something up properly, excuse me, it's gonna become run down. It's gonna become mismanaged. An ill plan. I like this because it shows that hey, it don't have to be like how it is, right? And as a student, catching the bus, we never really think about these things. You just think that okay, this is just the way it is. But they're saying, hey, it doesn't have to be like that. And I like what evidence. I love it. What evidence does it give to show that hey, um, that it doesn't have to be like this is his claim that hey, it doesn't have to be uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be where you rather be going in your car than taking the bus or the train. What evidence does it provide to state that hey, it could be better than how it is? What evidence? It gives specific evidence.
When they talk about countries of their comparison.
Exactly. When they talk about countries, right? So the first country that they mentioned was what?
Sweden.
Shanghai, right? Shanghai. And what's happening in Shanghai?
They made magnetic levitation trains.
Can you imagine that? Think about that. Listen, this is very important. This is so cool. It's a magnetic levitation train. Think about that. So it levitates, right? And it skims over the track. Listen to this, at 266 miles per hour. How fast does a car go?
Regular cars tend to go maybe
Regular car.
80 to
If
like
you obeying the speed,
50,
if you obeying the speed limit now, like say
30 miles per hour.
40 or 60.
30
50.
miles, the speed limit is 30 to like 40, right? That's the
Yeah,
speed limit, right?
sometimes
Generally.
60.
All right. Now we know most Bahamians don't, we don't obey them stuff. So we usually be from 60, and if we on airport road, we clock in 100
Like
and
100,
some,
100
right?
plus.
Yeah, 100 plus, right? 100 plus. Sound like that's your speed, Ricardo.
You have experience with it?
All right. So, but this thing in Shanghai is going 266 miles an hour. So if you're late and you had the opportunity, you think you can go in your car or you can go in this thing that going 266 miles per
You're
hour.
flying and
You
you're
think they're
flying.
going 266 miles
I
per
going to
hour?
this exactly. And not only that, what are the other benefits of going at not only speed, but what else besides speed? What else
Wi-Fi,
is the benefit of Wi-Fi? Okay, what do Wi-Fi enable you to do?
connects the
Text.
cities far away.
Yeah. So you could be doing stuff like when you're driving, you can't be texting, but you should. And
Unless you're in a crash.
you can't be doing any of those other things. So you could be doing whatever you want to do, and then this thing moving so fast, and you could be able to basically chill, because driving, even though driving is people like to drive, and when they get their own car, it's good, but driving, you have to be attentive. That's why persons, when they drive for so long, they be like, you know what, you drive today because I feeling like driving, because driving is a tremendous responsibility, you know what I mean. And so you imagine you get into your place safe. The pilot or whoever driving this thing, he have the responsibility. All you gotta do is get on the thing and you chill in, and you get to your destination, man, that's better. So I like that. I really like this part that they say, hey, listen, um, we could make public transportation faster, more affordable, and even cheaper than private automobile. Right? That's something to think about. That's very something very good to think about. And I think that this is it. This is what I would say is the author's main thesis, right? I would say that this is his or her, whoever. This is what I would say is their main idea, right? This is what they really was trying to bring home, right? How do I know that? Because they end with the same thing. They said what? If you make buses and subways what? And trains more what? Convenient, comfortable, and fast and safe, surprisingly large percentage of citizens will opt to ride rather than drive. So that's their main idea. You understand what I'm saying? This is their main
Yes.
idea. That's what they
Yes,
that's what
sir.
they trying to. That's their main point. Okay, and everything else builds on that point. All right, all right. So that's what I would say is their thesis. It takes very long for them to get to their thesis though, but they hit it right there. Okay, so all right, so they give other examples about in French and what's not. And they did some comparisons between um millennials and baby boomers. Millennials, um, do millennials or baby boomers like public transportation more? Who loves transportations more, baby boomers or millennials?
I mean, I would guess. Millennials.
You don't have the guess. It's right in the passage.
No, when I say guess, I just mean like off the top of my head type of.
Oh, okay. But you don't have the guess. It's right there, right on the screen. I'm looking at it. Who love public transportation more and why? It's right there.
What do we know?
Who? The baby
The
boomers
baby
or the
boomers.
millennials?
The baby
You think the
boomers.
baby boomers? No,
Millennials.
the millennials. By the way, who are the millennials?
Uh,
Who recently
the
grew up?
the like recent generation after us.
Young
The
adults.
generation, the generation
Adults.
before us. The generation before us, right? I'm not even a millennial, by the way. Interestingly enough, I'm 1 year away from being a millennial. So if I had born in 99, no, not 99. If I had born in 97, because millennials run from. Let me show you. So millennials, there's a certain period. When do you have to be born
Next in your mind.
to be a millennial? Let's see. Yeah, from 1997 to 1995.
This is powerful.
So I am not a millennial. So if you're born,
Boy.
I am hearing myself. Someone, can you cut your
Okay.
mic off, please? All right. So if you're born anywhere from 1997 to 1995, then you are a millennial. All right.
Excuse me, Mr. Isaac.
Yes, sir.
Can I make a? Can I like say why I think why? Just like why on my opinion. It I
Yeah,
feel
go ahead.
like it's because like millennials have more access to public transportation than baby boomers. Maybe, or is that just me?
No, more than no, it's more than that. They're gonna explain that. But baby boomers are from 1946 to 1964. That's baby boomers. So that'll be
I
like your
understand.
parents,
That's a
right?
Gen Z.
Uh your parents might even be in Gen Z. Some people are parents who are in Gen Z, and some people are parents who are baby boomers. All right. Who would be, sorry, Gen X rather. Gen X. All right, who was in Gen Z? Anyone in Gen Z?
Me.
Basically, all of us.
Me.
Yeah, including me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I in
You
Gen
know
Z
me,
too.
Gen X.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm
So
millennial.
the millennials are these people. What age do you think they are? If they
Late
are
40s.
in no, not 40s, man.
No,
That's
like they're the late 20s, the late 20s, late
the late
20s.
20s.
Between 26 and up.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe 26.
It'll be the
Yeah,
late
but 26.
20s to the early
26
30s.
and up.
1995. Yeah, 26 and up. Yeah,
26 and
26.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, 26 and up. All right. All right. So these individuals, they like the public transportation more. Now, why is that? Be anyone? It says it right in the question. Millennials like the public transportation more. Why?
Yeah, Mr. Isaac, can I eat?
With your mic off, yes.
Okay, thanks.
All right. No one see it?
With is there
So is
age
that
Why
the
they
gap
iPad
on
or
it
the
for people
iPad?
use Kindles and smartphones?
Yes, right.
They'll be able
So
to
they
test
they
and
are
stuff.
exactly. So they're like, you know what? They're like, why do I have to drive when I could just go on this train or I could just go on this this public transportation and this thing have so much it have space for charging, it have Wi-Fi, you know what I mean? It have all these things. So why am I going to drive my car when or why am I even gonna get a car when I could, just take a train, and the train could facilitate, me, um, my tech savvy life. So that's the idea that they have. Now, this is definitely not true in the Bahamas now. Because in the Bahamas, everybody, and they, um, young best friend trying to get a Honda. But this is more true in the them European countries and stuff like that, and even in the States too. And they're saying that, hey, these millennials don't even buy as much cars as the baby boomers, right? Because the baby boomers, the more older ones, they don't like the city life. 12 million of them had a car, compared to only, sorry, not had a car, had driver's license, compared to only how much who have driver's license with the millennials. They are only what, 10 million who have a
10
driver's
million.
license. Okay, so less. That's a whole lot. So a lot of them are just opting to just take the public transportation. And that's because the reason why it's different in the Bahamas is because our public transportation is not that good. So of course we would rather go and try to get an automobile or a private automobile of our own. You know what I mean? Give me one moment. One moment, please. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let's get into this story. I'm so sorry we still just discussing it. Um, but it's a pretty decent read, right? Oh, by the way, anyone learned any words from the story? Any words that you feel like, boy, I I I
Under,
I would not say it again.
underfunded.
Underfunded. That's a nice word. That's a good vocabulary word. Anyone get any other vocabulary word they feel like, okay, I gotta remember that? Any other one?
I love the
I like
ill-maintained
underfunded.
I feel bummed.
I
Ill-maintained.
still don't
Okay.
know the meaning of the word ill maintained.
Mine is
What?
also
What
ill
word?
maintained.
The contingent is something like that.
Where is it?
Like where say baby boomers have been raised to leave it to diverse suburbs.
Where are we?
Um,
What line?
um
She left 17.
Oh, okay. It
seven like
says baby boomers may have been raised in a leave it to the beaver suburb, but as they retire, a significant contingent, that means a significant number of them is favoring older cities. All right. So a
okay.
significant number of
Yes,
them,
sir.
yeah, they prefer the older cities, whereas the millennials prefer the new cities. All right. Um. Okay. So contingent in this place or in this context means a number of people, a significant group of them or a significant portion of them. So portion. All right. So a significant portion. Anyone else with vocabulary word from this? Significant
Say that
portion.
What do you
again.
mean by
Say that
suburb?
again.
Any? Say it again.
What do you mean by suburbs?
Suburbs. More of the, basically the
Like
opposite of. Go ahead. Anyone want to answer? Go ahead.
like the city. I mean, no, not the city. Like the
Not
plains.
the
Like
city.
not as like populated as a city.
Exactly. Or fast
Can you
pace.
repeat that?
A
Not
place that is
as
not as popular. Go ahead.
not as populated or like abundant as a city.
Yeah, it's not as busy. Okay. Okay. Any other vocabulary words, people?
Or
We this one had a lot. Any other?
Commuting.
Where are we? Which line? This one?
Yeah.
Commuting. I like this one. The first one, I mean, this is a major vocabulary word. I'm surprised none of you said it. A
I like
scrap
ailment king.
hanger.
That's strap
A
finger.
scrap
Finger the name.
scrap
Oh,
hanger. I like
I
this,
was
right?
trying
This
to
is strange.
ask you, but I couldn't get it.
But they said what it means. Anyone could define it. They said exactly what it means.
Or someone who relies on public transport rather than a privately owned automobile. Yeah.
Yeah. Any of us here are scrap hangers? Any scrap hangers? Any scrap hangers here?
Guess you could say I won.
No, none of y'all admitting that y'all are scrap hangers.
I admit it.
I like this word.
What you
I
mean
was a
by
scrap
strip
hanger.
hanger?
They say that someone who by choice or necessity relies on public transportation
Yeah,
rather than a
I'm a scrap
privately
hanger
owned
then.
Oh yeah, I'm a strip hanger by heart.
By heart indeed.
by heart, eh? Yeah, boy, I remember those days, boy. That is not a good life. Okay, I like this one. Anomaly. I like this. I like this. This is a good one. What anomaly means? Anyone knows?
Unusual.
It's
Maybe.
unusual, exactly. Something that does not always occur. All right.
Other than ordinary.
Yeah, out of the ordinary. Yeah, anomaly. So they're saying that even though there are a lot of cars, persons are the amount of people who have a car is still low as compared to the amount of people who don't have a car. Okay. Okay. So what else? I like this one, boy. This one is a nice one. Scrap hanger. I gotta use that. Scrap hanger. All right, I like this.
Use that.
Say it again.
I want to use that as an insult.
No, don't use that as an insult.
Ah,
But not many can know what you mean, so if you say it with an insult, just make sure they don't know what you
Yeah.
mean.
All right. Okay. So this is listen. This is a good way to learn vocabulary words. Go through this. Find words that you either don't know or think is interesting, and find out the meaning and study that. Very good way to do it. Okay. So I think we should go into the story, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. What Number 11. What function does the third paragraph 20, lines 20 to 34, serves in the passage as a whole? Does it A. It acknowledges that a practice favored by the author of the passage has some limitations. B. It illustrates with detail the arguments made in the first two paragraphs of the passage. It gives an overview of the problem that has not been sufficiently addressed by the experts mentioned in the passage. It advocates for abandoning a practice for which the passage as a whole provides mostly favorable data. So we need to go to line 20 to 34 and figure out what's happening here. What does it serve, or how does it serve the passage as a whole? Okay, so let's go. So line 20 to 34. 20 to what? 34.
20 to 34.
So that's going to be um that's going to be 20 to 34. That's all of this. Okay, so what does this green part serve to do? So it says, and yet public transportation in many minds is the opposite of glamour, a squalid last resort for those who, with too many impaired driving charges, too poor afford insurance, or too decrepit to get behind the wheel. In much of North America, they are right. Taking transit is a depressing experience. Anybody who has waited for too long a street corner for the privilege of boarding a lurching, overcrowded bus or wrestled luggage onto subway and shuttles to get to a big city airport knows that transit on this continent tends to be underfunded, ill-maintained, ill-planned. Given the opportunity, who wouldn't drive? Hopping into a car almost always gets you to your destination more quickly. So what does this portion do to the entire essay? What does it serve to arc as?
Can you
Let's
go
go
back
back to
to
the
the question?
options.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I
It's
ain't
an
going back to them
overview
right
of the
now.
I
problem.
think C.
Does it
C.
see? All right. Someone says gives an overview of the problem.
I
So
also
someone said
read
C.
C.
See? Anyone else?
A.
All right. Does it advocate for us to abandon a practice
No.
for which the passage as a whole serves
No,
more
sir.
superior? Let's see.
I
Here
think
we
D too.
basically talking. We're basically talking about the problem, right? Like the problem is, hey,
Yeah.
we have
Yeah,
overcrowded.
we're talking about the issue what's going on.
Talking about the issue that's going on. Let's see. Let's check. Let's see what A says. A
A,
says
like less than the problem.
it
Because we
says
talk
it
about
acknowledges that. Let's look at A. A says it acknowledges that a practice favored by the author of the passage has some limitations. Mm, is it A?
I don't think so.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right. Let's think about it now. What does the author? What the author is really pushing us to do? To do what? Like what the author is trying to bring to us in a favorable light. So what the author is trying to bring to in a favorable light. In a favorable light. You know what I mean by a favorable light? Like what they trying to what is he
Show
trying
us?
to show us the benefits of?
Public transport.
Public
Benefits
transport,
of
right?
So
transportation.
that's the big C.
Yeah. So he's basically trying to show us in the passage that hey, public transportation is pretty good. Alright? That's what he's trying to do, right? Or he or she, whoever the author is. He's trying to show us the benefits of public transportation. But what he does in this third paragraph, or this the third paragraph, is that he shows us that hey, public transportation ain't all that nice. Does that isn't that what he do? It says it's underfunded,
Yes, sir.
ill-maintained, ill-planned, right?
He points out
And
the
so
problems.
so he points out the problem of the thing that he
Public
actually this is it. Yet public transportation in many minds is what? The opposite of glamour.
Glamour.
grammar.
So he is
Grammar.
pointing out, listen carefully, he is acknowledging that a practice favored so listen, he favors this practice, doesn't he?
Yes, it does.
Yes, yes, he does.
Yes. He favors this pass. He favors public transportation. But he's acknowledging that hey, it does have some limitations.
Some
Okay?
limitations.
So the best answer for this one
But C
is A.
also
It's A.
can be right as well.
C,
But C,
listen, C.
I almost went with C. But the problem with C is that look, it says it gives an overview of a problem that has not been sufficiently addressed by experts mentioned in the passage.
Oh, yeah, to the right place.
C,
Okay, I
it would
think
be
I
between
think
C or A. I can understand why you would say C. But A is the best answer.
there is no experts mentioned in the passage, so it can't be C then.
Yeah, it gives an overview that has not been sufficiently addressed by experts mentioned in the passage. I mean, there's an indirect mentioning of experts referring to the government, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's like there's no explicit mentioning of experts in the passage for real. Um, All right, this one was a tricky one, though, I must admit,
Yep.
because C looked really promising. Anyway, let's move. We have to move fast for this one because I realize that we're running out of time, and I really don't wanna.
Can you go back
I
up
wanna
quickly?
finish. I wanna finish this part before we leave because it wouldn't make sense to leave it for Monday. It just wouldn't. You just wouldn't understand it like that no
Can you go
more.
back up, please? I'm waiting for you.
Wait,
Go
we
back
ain't
up.
coming back till Monday. Oh wait, that's
No,
the
I
new
mean we
Monday.
ain't coming back to language. Yeah, we ain't coming back to language. Which choice does the author explicitly cite as an advantage of automobile travel in North America?
C.
Which choice does the
C.
speed?
Speed.
Which choice does the author explicitly cite as an advantage of automobile travel in North America?
I think it's C as well.
Think it's C.
Speed, yes, sir.
I also think it's C.
Think it's C.
Mm.
All right, let's read lines 32 to 34 and see. It says it says what the advantage of what driving your automobile.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
it says here, hopping in a car almost always gets you to your destination more what?
Faster or
Quickly.
faster.
Faster.
More quickly. So speed is the correct answer. So it's C. So this way. Which line or which choice best provide which choice provides the best evidence for the answer to the question?
Say that again.
D.
Which choice best provides the yes, D.
D.
Lines 32 to 34.
I was right.
I ain't, but didn't hear most of what you said. I was trying to comprehend what you said.
Now we was trying to ask where you get the evidence from for number 12, and we got that from lines 32. Yeah. All right. All right. We have the move. I don't want us to spend forever with these stuff. The central idea of the fourth paragraph
Can you go
is
back up
that.
quick? I'm bring the picture up, please.
All right.
I haven't.
Good. The central idea of the fourth paragraph, lines 35 to 57, is that A. European countries excel at public transportation. B. Some public transportation systems are superior to travel by private automobile. Americans should mimic foreign public transportation system when possible. Much international public transportation is engineered for passengers to work while on board. Number 14.
A.
I already think it's
So
B.
It'll be B.
so let's look at 35 to 57, and that will be from. Let me erase these things to make it clear. Did you see how write up this thing is already? That's how your paper should look. You're taking notes, you're annotating, you are underlying keywords, stuff like that. Alright, so 35 to what? 57?
57.
Yes, sir.
That'll be somewhere around there. So if we look carefully, right, it's basically talking about different places that made public transportation better than what? Than
Auto
driving.
driving, basically.
Than driving, yeah.
So it has
Okay?
to be B.
So it's B. Some public transportation systems are superior to travel by Superior to travel by private automobile. All right. Number 15. Which choice best provide evidence to the answer to the previous question?
Facilitate.
Uh-huh. Go up a bit.
Oh, you go back up for a second. I was writing a lot.
One
I
moment.
get it.
Up. Okay. Which choice best provide the answer for that?
You go back up a
35 to
little
So,
bit.
37 maybe.
say it again.
B.
B.
What's B?
35. Okay, so let's see. Um. So it says done right, public transport can be what? Faster,
More
more
comfortable
affordable,
and cheaper.
more comfortable, and cheaper than private automobile. So this is it right now. All right. So the correct answer is 35 to 37. That's where we
C.
find the best answer. Okay, number 16. As used in line 58, credit most nearly means, is it means to endow, to
Honestly, I
attribute,
don't even know what endow means.
to attribute. Anyone know what endow means? Endow, if you endow in something.
Yes,
Can I
sir.
make an assumption?
Yeah, make an assumption. Go ahead.
Maybe like bestowing?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's a similar idea. When you endow, like you basically, it's basically to give. All right. Um. So, for example, if you have a church, right? If you have a church and someone endows the church with lands, right? Or someone endows the, not even the church. Let's say it was a let's say it was a say it was a
Yeah.
charitable organization.
Providing
And
something.
yeah, let's say it was a charitable organization and someone endow it with, you know, with money, or endow it with property, or endow it with, chairs or furniture. That's to give. Okay. You know, to
I think
bless.
it's B.
Yeah. So, as used in line 58, credit most nearly means, is it to endow, attribute, believe, or honor?
B.
C.
Attribute.
B.
I think it's B. Okay, so we have to go to line 58 though,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
right? You're fine. He
I'm
says he's
fine with that.
fine without going to the passage. Interested.
I already know I'm right.
You already know you're right. Just, yeah, just right. Okay. Excuse me.
I
55. 55, 56, 57, 58. All right, so
It's
if
C.
you credit, it's what?
It's C. C.
If you
If you
credit,
believe the demographics, the transit trend had legs.
exactly,
It's C.
exactly. It's C. It's C. All right. It's C. Yeah, credit means to. In this case, it means to believe.
That's my bad. I missing. I misclicked. That's my bad.
All right. As used in line 61, favor most nearly means.
B. B.
I think it's B.
Yeah, me
But
too.
Mr. Isaac,
Yes, sir.
credit doesn't credit mean like giving someone like the credit they deserve for doing something. So and the word and like credit in general means like like
Remember,
giving it to someone who deserves it. So like you would have to attribute to do something like that.
remember, we look. That's why it's very important to look at context clues. All right. So here, it wouldn't be the best answer would the in terms of its context, right? The author is basically saying if you believe what the demographics are saying, all right. So basically, you're looking for the best replacement of the word credit in this passage or in this statement. You understand what I'm saying? That's the reason. You're looking for the best replacement
I
of credit.
originally thought it was endow, but I switched over my answer to
Yeah.
attribute because I thought it made the most sense.
Yeah, I understand. I can understand that. I can understand why you would say that. That's the thing about these things. It's like um, it's choosing the best one. All right, like and sometimes the best one is closer to the other ones. All right. Okay. So we are number 17. So as used in line 61, favor most nearly means is it indulge,
B, prefer.
prefer,
Prefer.
resemble, or
I think
serve?
it's B,
B,
prefer.
prefer.
Okay, so let's go to line 61. I don't know how y'all could do this without looking at the thing. I have to go to.
Because we just was there. I had to look at it.
It's like it logically makes the most sense.
We got that.
All right, this is number. What number? What number we're on?
16.
16.
Number 17 or 16?
We're on 17.
17.
Okay, 17.
Oh no, go to 16.
All right. So baby boomers tend to favor cities over suburbs. Oh, that's definitely prefer. Yeah.
We know that.
Say we know that.
At least I take this one.
All right. So prefer is B. Which choice best supports the conclusion that public transportation is compatible with the use of personal electronic devices? We saw this before.
B,
Say it again.
B.
B
A?
part. Okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I honestly
Yeah.
don't
Let's.
remember either, so I'm not gonna make
Yeah.
a decision.
This is number what? This is 18. We're trying to figure
Number
out
18.
which supports the conclusion that public transportation is compatible. When we say compatible, what do we mean?
Close or resemble. Close to or
No,
resemble, my bad. Or no, no,
no,
no, no, no, no,
compatible.
no, no. I mean, like you, like you related? No. How
No, not relatability. Like
compatible?
if I say
They
this
go together.
charger, no.
Yeah,
If I say it goes together somewhat, but if I say this charger is not compatible with my Samsung charger,
Like they
what am I
can work
saying?
together without having issues.
Exactly.
They
They could
can
work
work
together
together
without.
having issues.
Yes.
like
So
I understand the word, but I can put it into like my own.
okay. So compatible basically means um that it basically was made for it. Like for example, um my charger is compatible with my phone. Like if I put that into it, it works well, right? So it was designed for it, right? That's someone would say, well, you're not compatible for me. You'd say that to someone like, you know, us together is, there's issues, You like black, I like white. You like red, I like green. So we're not compatible. Like, certain things we don't see eye to eye on. So when they say the public transportation is compatible with the use of personal electronic devices, is that does these transportation make it easier, or was it designed for you to use your personal electronic devices? All right. Um, and if it's designed for it, then of course it would have the charger ports. It would have, comfortable seats and all those things, so that it can make your using your personal devices easier. So in that sense, it will be compatible. So looking at number 18. Oh wow, it's 9 o'clock. Can you please give me a few more moments so we could do 19 and 20, please?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Please.
No problem.
Please, thank you.
Mr.
Thank you so
Petit,
much. Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
When did they make BJCs? Because they wasn't around like in the 70s, right?
Say it again. When they
When did they make BJCs? Because they was around the 70s and stuff, right?
when they first decided to make it.
That's all.
Well, I don't know the exact date. I have to get back to you on that. But they didn't always have BJCs. BJCs came around
What
um
made them bring it around?
after they came later on when they
Um,
realized that, hey, um they needed something for the bombers. Go ahead.
so what kind of exam you had before the BGC, BGCSE?
They
GC,
had
SAT.
other they
GC.
had they had exams from other countries, you know, um that they had other exams that persons would take from other countries, and they give it to us. And it didn't have the culture and the feel of the Bahamas in it. And so they say, you know what, we need to make an exam that would test stuff that Bahamians do and Bahamians would know. And so that's one of the reasons why they changed it.
Can I see the question?
Okay,
Mr.
so
Mr. Petit.
yes, sir.
So so like so what Americans is taking? What they take in America? They take RPPs, right?
SAT. SATs, yeah.
And what that's for grade 9.
No, that's not for grade 9. PSAT,
What the grade 9 just take
PSAT.
over there?
Like PSAT. They could take PSAT. That's
I
like
like
pre-SATs. Before you get to the SAT.
I like that.
When you reach the grade 12, then you take the SAT. Okay, so which choice best supports the conclusion that public transportation is compatible with the use of personal electronic devices? This
I
is
think it's B.
okay. It is B, and let's look
E.
at B. 63 to 67. It says part of the reason, yeah, we highlighted this, and even part of the reason is there what ease, as compatibility, right? Ease with
Yes,
what?
sir.
iPads,
Temperature.
MP3s, Kindles,
Yes,
smartphones. You can get some serious texting done when you're not driving. All right. So they're saying that, hey, these the reason why millennials like the public transportation, it's because it's it easily it's easily compatible. It easily facilitates their you know um it easily facilitates their what should I use, their their electronic lives, or their electronic devices, and their social media um mindset. Okay, number 19. Which choice is supported by the data in the first figure? Which choice is supported by the data in the first figure? Is it that the number of students using public transportation is greater than the number of retirees using public transportation? Is it that the number of employed people using public transportation and the number of unemployed people using public transportation is roughly the same? Is it that people employed outside the home are less likely to use public transportation than are homemakers? Or is it the unemployed people use public transportation less often than people employed outside of the home? So we have to go to to the figure to see what the figure is saying. Okay, so let's go to this figure. And this figure, if we look carefully, right, look carefully, at the figure, this is telling us primary occupation of public transportation passengers in the U.S. So the people who are outside of the home, right? They are 72%. For unemployed, it's going to be 6.4%. For the student, it's 10.7. All right. So 10.7 of the people who use public transportation are who?
Students.
The
Students.
Students. All right.
So
And how much are retirees? So 10.7 is
6.6.7%.
students.
6.7.
6.7.
6.7. So which is more, the number of students
The
using
number
public
of students,
transportation or the
Students.
number
yeah.
of retirees?
Students.
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 Number of students,
So
Students.
the correct answer is
A.
Students.
A.
See.
A.
All right. The number of students using public transportation is what? Greater than the
Then
number of what?
And the retirees.
Retirees using public transportation. All right. Okay. Does anyone need me to go back up to something?
no, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I think
Move
we
on.
need some
Oh,
speech.
no, man.
I'll take some pictures, please, with questions
Yeah.
Okay.
from number
All right.
13.
What I could do is we can finish this last one, and then after it, I
Okay.
go allow anyone who need to take pictures to do it at the end. Okay. So let's do the last one because it's really running late, and some of you have to go to bed. So let's quickly do this. Taken together, the two figures suggest that most people who use public transportation are, is it A, the employed outside the home and take public transportation to work, right? Is it are people, so they're trying to figure out who is the people who use most public transportation. The people, the people who are mostly involved in public transportation, who mostly use public transportation, is it people who are employed and outside the home, and the people who take public transportation to work? Is
A.
it the people who
It's
are
A.
employed
I think it's
outside the
A.
home but take public transportation primarily in order to
A.
run errands? Is it people who use public transportation during the week and use their private cars on the weekend? Or is it people who use public transportation only until they're able to afford to buy a car?
A.
So let's look at the charts. If we look at the charts in figure 1, who uses public transportation the most?
Employed
Employed
outside the
outside the
house.
home.
People who are employed outside the house,
Outside the
right?
home.
So they use the public transportation the most. If we look at the figure 2, who use public transportation for what purpose is public
To get to
transportation
work.
mostly used for?
To
To
get to
get
To
to
work.
get to
work.
work. Good. So what two parties would use public transportation?
Working people or
Work
employed
The
and
people.
And to
employed
work.
or
employed,
employed.
employed
Outside the
outside the home, and what?
and to work.
People
And
who
to
Working
work,
work.
person.
right?
Working.
So the correct answer here would
A.
be people who are
A.
employed outside the home and take public transportation to work. So it is A. All right. Did we learn anything tonight?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
indeed.
That's
Indeed.
what we
Yes.
did.
Okay, that's good. That's important.
Yes,
So
sir.
hopefully retain it. And this is the second to last meeting for the week. So please um, come on time on tomorrow. Tomorrow is our last installation. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. And make sure if you haven't applied or signed up for those exams, please do it um, before Friday because the deadline is on Friday. All right. And so with that being said, I'll see you on tomorrow. God spare life. Take care. If you want to stay back to take some screenshots, I'd allow that. But let me first And please send in the notes. Send in the notes for me, please. Send in the notes. But let me pause it. Let me